What's up, guys? This is Jumpin' here, and today this is going to be a special video. This is going to be a Borderlands 2 pre-release video. So the whole idea of this is that I'm on the official Borderlands website, which is awesome because they have put the skill trees now up there. So if you want, you can go to the website and build your character prior to the game coming out. Or once the game is out, you can still do this if you want to try to make different builds. And I will be doing a lot of Borderlands videos, so I thought that this would be a very good tool to go ahead and use to pretty much plan out what I want to do with the game once I get it. So the person I'm going to be playing with to start, I'm going to try to play with every single character if possible, but to start the game, I'm going to be playing with Zero the Assassin, and this is the build that I've came up with for him, and I think it's going to be extremely overpowered and extremely broken. So, and it's going to be pretty fun. Now, the first thing I want to say, I've already made the build, and the first thing I want to say is that I feel that the Sniping Tree is probably his worst one. He has some good stuff in here like headshot, precision, which is more accuracy, velocity, and one shot, one kill. I think these are great, but I just don't think it's worth investing the points into, because the unfortunate truth of the matter is that because the base level cap in the game is going to be level 50, you're not going to be able to get 2 of these bottom perks, which is terrible. I mean, oh my god, I can't believe they did that. I know with DLCs you're probably going to be able to do it because the level cap is going to be raised, but as of right now, with the base cap, you're only going to be able to get 1 of these bottom perks. So that is definitely a bummer. But I still think this build is going to be extremely good. Like I said, I don't really find that sniping is going to be the best thing for him because, I mean, he's a melee ninja. So I think close-range weapons like a shotgun, for example, would be the best thing for him, or an SMG. I think that is the way you should build them and play with them. I'm not saying that you have to, just saying that that's the way I'm going to do it, and I think that's the way that is going to be the best for Zero. So, let me go ahead and give you this build, because I love it. I'll talk a little bit about it as I go, but I don't want to take up too much time. Now, the first thing I want to say is his special power is going to be Deception, and what Deception is going to do is that it's going to allow you to turn invisible, put out a hologram of yourself, and then the longer you stay in it, it's going to build up damage, and I think it lasts for like maybe 5 seconds. I don't really know. Maybe 7 seconds. I don't really know, like I said. But the damage bonuses are going to go up to 650% for melee, 200% for gun damage, and 250% for gun critical hit damage. So that's really crazy. And it's definitely going to be probably, in my opinion, one of the best powers in the game. But all the powers are really good. The turret's a lot better. Gunzerker is going to be great, and Phase Lock is going to be amazing. So, let's go ahead and get into the build, though. Now, for the build, I'm going to be using Iron Hand here. What this is going to do is give me more melee damage and more maximum health. I think this is a way better choice than Killing Blow, which is the other option. And, well, you can get both. You can get anything you want in the game, but I just think that you should avoid Killing Blow. Now, the melee damage is 15%, the maximum health is 15%, so all around, that's pretty freaking good. Going down now, we're going to have Be Like Water. Now, Be Like Water is probably the best way to play with them, honestly. So the idea is that if you shoot an enemy, you're going to get more melee damage, and if you melee an enemy, you're going to get more gun damage. Oh my god, that's awesome. So something like a shotgun is perfect for this. Like, you just run in close range, you shoot your melee, you shoot your melee, you shoot your melee, and you constantly get a damage buff. And the damage buffs are going to be 20% for the gun and 30% for the melee. So that's amazing. Now, Grim is this other option. This is pretty good too, but I don't think this is necessary, only because there is a infinite loop, crazy, overpowered thing that you can do with Deception in the game, and I will show you in a second here. Now, the next one is going to be Follow Through. What Follow Through is going to do, this is a kill skill, meaning that you have to get a kill to activate it, and all it's going to do is going to give you a movement speed buff, a gun damage buff, and a melee damage buff. And it's 40% for the movement speed, 30% for the gun damage, and 40% for the melee damage, which is insanely powerful, which is awesome. Alright, moving on, it's going to be Execute. What this is going to do, this is going to change your melee. It's going to overwrite your melee when you're in Deception, and it's going to be a dashing melee that's going to cause extra, more massive damage. Don't really know how much more damage, but it says massive damage, so take it for what it is. And Execute screams to me one-hit kill potentially, so keep that in mind. Now this is going to combo with a lot of things in the game, so try to remember this one. Alright, moving on, we're going to have Resurgent. What this is going to do is this is actually going to pretty much, if you kill an enemy with a melee attack, well, you will get your health back a little bit, which is great, because if you're going to play close range with melees and a shotgun or an SMG, you're going to constantly be taking damage. And if you're constantly taking damage, this will definitely help you. And it's going to combo with Execute. So if you execute a guy, you're going to get some health back, and that is awesome. Alright, moving on, Like the Wind. Now this is perfect. Like, I love this. Alright, as you may know if you played Borderlands 1, normally hip firing a shotgun is extremely good in most first-person shooters or shooting games in general. Same with SMGs. So, if you're going to use a weapon like me, like a shotgun or SMG, this is perfect. What this is going to do is that as you're moving, meaning that when you're not aiming in, if you're moving and you're shooting, you're going to get more gun damage, and if you're moving and you're meleeing, which makes the most sense because, of course, you don't want to be getting shot standing still, then you're going to get more melee and gun damage. So this is amazing. I mean, you're going to be able to constantly move around, dodge bullets, and get a bonus damage to guns and melees. So keep that in mind. Now the final one here, this is by far the most overpowered thing in the game, I think. When I read this, I was like, oh my god, this is actually a infinite loop for deception. Now let me explain it to you a little bit. Now the first thing is that all you have to do is that when you kill an enemy in deception with a melee attack. Now remember guys, Execute potentially can be a one-hit kill. You don't really know yet, but it might be a one-hit kill. If that is the case, then what that's going to do is combo great with this. The idea is that if you can get a melee kill with when you have this skill, if you get a melee kill and you're in deception, and you also got to remember guys, 650% more melee damage potentially. That's crazy. When you get a kill, it's going to reset your deception and pretty much give you a whole nother new deception skill. Not saying that you're not even going to be knocked out of it. You're just going to stay in it. So if there's a group of enemies, you're going to be able to execute, reset your deception, execute, reset, and just it's an infinite loop of just stealing all the kills and just killing everything very easily. Overall, it is insanity. I don't know why they put this in the game, but this will probably drive you crazy. And Zero, this is probably what's going to make Zero the best right here. So I don't really know. I can't say 100% because I haven't played the game yet, but I can see that being really overpowered. Alright, moving on. Next up is going to be Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is great because if you're going to be playing close range, well, you're going to be getting shot. And all you have to do is, if you get hit, and that means getting hit by anything, you are going to have a chance to do a Counter-Strike with your melee, with your next melee attack, that can do up to 250% more damage. Oh my freaking god. That is crazy. So, keep that in mind, guys. Really, really powerful. Alright, moving on. Ambush. Now, Ambush is definitely going to be great. Mainly because you got to remember deception. Now, what Ambush is going to do is that if you can hit an enemy in the back or shoot an enemy in the back, so it goes with melees and guns, you will do more damage. And it's 20% more damage. Now, the great thing about this is, like I said, besides the fact that you can do this with your sword or with your guns, you don't actually need to just hit them in the back. As long as the enemies are not shooting you, you're good. So that means that if you're playing with a group of friends or a group of randoms and the enemies are shooting them, well, you're going to get 20% more damage, you know, with your gun or with your melee. That is extremely, extremely good. Alright, moving on. I actually put 2 points in the Fearless because you're going to have 2 leftover points at level 50, and I would recommend getting this last. I like this. The last 2 points are really up to you. I think Fearless is going to be good, though, because you're going to constantly lose your shield, and all this is going to do is give you more gun damage and more fire rate. So it's pretty decent, and I do think that it might be decent to invest in. But in my opinion, his best thing he gets is this right here, Raising Shot. What this does is that it allows you to stack damage, well, yeah, pretty much stack damage, up to 5 times. So, this works with your melees and your gun. And the gun damage bonus is 10%, and the melee damage bonus is 9%. So, the way that it's going to work is that if you're going to shoot an enemy, if you shoot an enemy 5 times, pretty much with 5 bullets, so an SMG would be great with this because it's going to quickly give you the times 5 damage, it goes up to 50% more gun damage. And same with your melee. If you melee, that is 45% more melee damage for each melee. Now, the way it works is that they've balanced it out, so guns like SMGs and combat rifles will actually, of course, they're going to get their times 5 stack quicker than with, let's say, a shotgun or a sniper rifle, but the slower shooting guns like those two guns are going to remain, or they're going to keep the stack for longer. So it's kind of balanced. I like that idea. But overall, it's going to be extremely good, especially if you shoot melee. I mean, you're going to get 45% more melee, 50% more gun. It's really crazy, but yeah, this is, I think, the best thing he's going to get. And then the final one I went for is Death Mark, which is just great for you and your team. This is a debuffing thing. Enemies will take 20% more damage after you melee them. So the idea is that you can melee, you mark them. I don't know if a mark's going to appear and then your teammates are going to be able to see it, but you'll know at least that they're going to be debuffed. And your next melee will do, well, 20% more damage, or your next gun attack, and it remains on them for 8 seconds. So, that is really, really good. Alright, so that was my zero build. I will probably come out with other videos if you guys want me to for the other characters, showing you my pre-release builds. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I got some numbers for you if you want to hear them real quick. Alright, so the first number is your melee damage without the massive bonus included. It is going to be, if you do everything right, 155% more melee damage. And your gun damage, if you do everything right without the extra gun damage from Deception added, is going to be 135% more gun damage. That is crazy! That is a lot more damage, guys. And if you calculate the Counter-Strike with the Deception into the melee damage, it goes up to, no joke, 1,055% more melee damage. Oh my effing god. And for the gun damage is an additional 200%, so the grand total is 335% more gun damage. So, Zero will be extremely good and extremely overpowered, and that's the reason why I'm choosing him for my playthrough 1, and I would definitely recommend him as well. And like I said, overall, I think a shotgun's going to be the best thing for him, so keep that in mind. But hopefully you guys have liked this video. If you have, please give me a like, and please subscribe to me for any Borderlands 2 content. I will be definitely doing live commentaries for playthrough 1 and 2. Don't really know how many videos I'm going to be coming out with, but I'm going to try to come out with a lot of them. So, please subscribe, and have a nice day.